dear developers and publishers in Western country. I'm glad to stay on the stage to talk about actually the topic the organizer gave me at the beginning is the struggle, the Western game developer struggle in to the Eastern and vice versa. But I don't think so, because struggle is hard to survival, and so that's why I chose the topic, fighting for Chinese market. Because fighting, we can looking for a hope, yeah, to the mystery country. Okay, before I start the topic, I'd like to do a review of the Chinese market. For Chinese market, all the Western developers, maybe most of you are very confused about what Chinese market like and how what can you do if you want to expand your business into Chinese market. So all the struggle, all the fightings, it's only because the information not balanced. Yeah. So if you know the market very well, you are confident to enter the market by yourself or by your partners. So for Chinese market, there's a lot of huge numbers. Yeah, you know, there are $3 billion for the last year, and for this year, it will be just keeping the same level because there's a lot of new policy from the government. Maybe most of you have heard some negative news, yeah, in the past months, and 92% is an online game. That number including the PC and the mobile online games. And for mobile games, 55.8% take from the online game, multiplayer game. So you can imagine the mobile game market cap is pretty huge, and it's much bigger than PC game in Chinese market. You know, PC game market in China, the current situation is just to keep the same level year on year, not going up very fast anymore. And so these slides, I just want to tell you, Chinese market, the mobile game revenue and the user base, mobile game have more opportunity to all the other platforms. You know, console game in China meaningless. There's only few market share, yeah, in Chinese market. And I'd like to talk about separated from App Store and Android Store, because in China, there's something different from the global market. You know, the global market only App Store and Google Play. Maybe in some regions or countries, there's some other third-party stores. But in China, yeah, it's amazing. It's a nightmare for all the Western developers. We have App Store, yeah, the same one. And the Android Store is so complicated. And it's too hard, too difficult for you guys to feed the market by yourself, especially for Android market. So for App Store, yeah, normally the App Store revenue in China, 75% revenue generated by game. Yeah, the number can show you mobile game is the #1 revenue generator in China. So there's more and more people, they like to play games by their phone, on their phone. Yeah, that's the reason why. And in China, there are 700 million players, mobile game players. And this number getting at a faster speed, yeah, currently, yeah. Because, you know, there are 1,040 million population in China. Yeah, 1.4 billion, yeah, population in China. So half of them are mobile game player. You can imagine. Yeah, the user base and the market cap is huge. Yeah, and 50% of them are mobile game players, and the number keep going very steady. Yeah, so that's why all the Western developers they are anxious to expand their business into Chinese market. That's the most important thing. So normal Chinese market, and you will give you more confidence to enter this market faster and better. I'd like to show the top 8 regions, the amount of game in the past whole years. Yeah, you know, China is the #1 for all games amount, on App Store. Yeah, and the US is the second one. This number can tell you Chinese market, especially for App Store. There's a lot of Western developers. They can do their own publishing on App Store by themselves. They just choose the Chinese mainland, will be okay. Yeah. So, but for Chinese developer, they can make a lot of localized game and their in-house game as well. So the number is pretty huge in China. And I'd like to tell you the top game genre in Chinese market. Yeah. Currently, it's interesting story. Puzzle game, arcade game, and para game. Yeah, it's very interesting. So actually, for the top game genre in China, I think the casual and puzzle. Yeah, there's a lot of Chinese normal people. They never play mobile game before, but maybe from last year, they play a lot of hardcore game. There's a 2 game genre. They can cover a lot of population and mobile game players. It's the Glory of King, published by Tencent, and another one, the Ichiken. We call the name Ichiken. Yeah. These 2 game genre do a lot of lessons to the new mobile game player. So for Chinese market, for the game player, more and more people, they transfer from the casual game to micro, even hardcore. So that's the trend for Chinese game player. And you can take a look at the last one, 0%. It's a death game. The last slides of my presentation will tell you a good story about the death game. Yeah. And it is a good chart for the game genre allocation on App Store China. Yeah, you can check arcade game, action game, puzzle game, take the top 3 market share in Chinese market. So my suggestion is for Western developer, if you want your game to have a good success in Chinese market, don't do that game genre, because the competition is too huge. It's very difficult to make your game have a great success in Chinese market if you want to compete these 3 games genres. Yeah, because there's a lot of numbers of games in the market as well. Yeah. And that's the top 20 downloads on App Store China in H1, the first half year of this year. So you can check out the top 20 downloads game. Mostly come from Tencent, NetEase, and some local developers. Only few of them come from Western developers. Yeah, Rovio, Heat, Fun Games for Free, yeah, and G Victory. Yeah, only few of them. Their game can come out on the top charts. These top downloads charts can tell you in China, Tencent and NetEase is the top one. They are giant. They are powerful to make their own IP games, and they have a huge user base to do a great download number and make revenue. Yeah, but for Western people, Western developers, if your game the quality is good and the gameplay is very creative, I think you still have the opportunity to be the top chart, I think. I'm very confident with that. Yeah. And that's revenue. Always be the Tencent, NetEase. Yeah. Maybe they will take 80% of the top chart games. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Because, yeah, maybe on the global market, King, Supercell, or the other top giant companies, they are the same situation. But for all of us, we can seeking for more opportunity to be success in the global market and in Chinese market. Yeah, the top gross revenue on App Store, top 10, always Tencent, NetEase. Yeah. So, what are you guys doing? Yeah. Because the Chinese market App Store is, the competition is very fierce. Yeah. The situation is not good enough. So where's your opportunity and what are you guys doing? Yeah, we can take a look. For the amount of the games, in the past half years, the Western game developers released their games on App Store China. The numbers amount is great. And I want to say another topic is your games on App Store featured tabs is pretty much than the local developers. That's a key point. Your game's quality is good enough, and there's a huge audience, Chinese audience. They prefer to play your games in the market. Yeah, that's why Apple China like to feature your games and push your games to Chinese audience. So, no worry about the download number and the revenue. Yeah, your gameplay, your creative, Chinese people, Chinese players, we like it. We favorite it very much. Yeah. And for the updating, yeah, I think all the Western developers, you are very focusing. You're working hard. Yeah. There's a lot of only one person or two person keep working on their games. Yeah, very frequently. So from the update tabs, you can check it out. Yeah. So where you are, if you can do the same thing, your games have more opportunity to be success in Chinese market, I think. And all the publisher will reach out to you for some special cooperation discussion. And the difference between the Western developers and the Chinese developers. Of course, Western developers more focusing on creative, more focusing, passionate, and community. Yeah, because for your game design, when you start your project, your target audience is a global. Yeah, always, I think. But for Chinese developer, our target audience maybe just the Chinese market. Yeah, because the game player user base is huge. If they have a good success in Chinese markets, it's enough. Yeah, but for you guys, you have to take care of the global audience, and maybe yes, maybe not. You ignore the Chinese audience sometime or somewhere. For example, the culture, the background story, yeah, maybe not fit Chinese audience well, Yeah. So that's why when you start a new product, if you want to expand your game or launch your game in Chinese market, think about the Chinese audience. Yeah. You can do a better localization or culturalization, I think. That would be much better. So for Chinese developer, they always think about money. Yeah, because honestly, the Western developers, you have a good society, yeah, society security, yeah. You won't worry about your living cost, yeah. But for Chinese developers, they have to think about how to make money as fast as they can. Otherwise, maybe they will say goodbye or quit the market. Yeah. And so for App Store, my suggestion is just to keep going, focus on the gameplay's creative, and to do a better game story or culturalize for Chinese audience. That will be much easier for your games into Chinese market. Yeah. And for China Android market, it's a nightmare for all the Western developers, I think. Yeah. Till now, if you don't have a reliable Chinese partner, I think it's very difficult for yourself to enter Chinese Android market because there's a lot of Android store you need to take care, and you have to apply the ISBN, you have to do all the relationship, you have to do the live ops. So I just give you an example for Oppo Android store. So what works, the daily works, the normal works, you have to take care. Yeah. Okay. This chart tell you the market share of the Android devices for Oppo, Vivo. You can take a look. All the top ones, the top two, Oppo, Vivo. Yeah, it's a local branding. Yeah, Apple is the number third. Yeah. So for these charts, you have to think about how to do the adaptation for your game to all the devices. There's a lot of third-party partners or companies. They help to do the testing for the adaptation. Yeah. So before we launch a Western developers game into Chinese market, we'd like to run a data analysis for the first adaptation. Yeah. At least you have to cover 25% of the local devices. Yeah. And for this number only for one app store. It's at Oppo. Yeah. So they have 280 million of game distributed per month. Their DAU will be around several hundred million. Yeah, the DAU. So the number is pretty huge. So if your game can have a good exposure on their app store, you can have a huge download number. So as I know, you mean Minecraft? Yeah. On the first day, App Store Oppo, they got 1 million download. Only one day. Yeah. It's amazing for the global market. But for Android store, we can do that. Yeah. And they have 130 million game user. Yeah. And they have 30 million PV only for a live ops deck position. Yeah. So their app store, the active user and the user base is pretty huge. Yeah. So that's why we'd like to bring your games, because your games quality is great, and Oppo, Vivo, and Xiaomi kind of app store, and include ourselves app store, yeah, because our company have our own app store as well, yeah. So we'd like to have the high quality, the gameplay is creative, totally new game, yeah, from the Western developers, and we'd like to help you have a good deck position on those platforms. And there's user's profile, yeah. And the male and female, yeah, just a half-half, yeah, very balanced. Because there's a lot of female game player, they start to try the Miko, even hardcore game, yeah, in Chinese market. Now some DIY or avatar game or match 3 game, they like to try something new, yeah. And they never care about the payment for the game, especially for the female, yeah, game player. And that's the age, yeah. And that one is the education condition, yeah. Most of them are graduated from the college, yeah. And that's the game genre reference for Oppo store, yeah. Very interesting, Chinese traditional. So if you have a good story background of your game, can attract more Chinese player, that will be very good for your game in Chinese market. And on Android store, you have to take care about a lot of things. Yeah, it's much complicated than App Store and Google Play. Yeah, you have to take care the level of the game players community, and even you have to answer the players review in time. Yeah, all of these things can make your games getting better and better. Yeah, that's why you need a good partner in China if you can't do all the work by yourself. And that's VIP membership. For all the Android store, they have a hardcore game club. Yeah, if your game good enough and attract most of their VIP game players, that will be very valuable for your game. And this group of game players, they can generate 80% of your revenue. So it's very important to make something happen during this game players club. Yeah, and you have to do a lot of things. And that is success case for player community. Yeah, Chinese people, they like to exchange ideas and pop up new topics to all the others. Yeah, okay. So you have to take care all the activities and the topics. Yeah, very frequently, very often. Yeah. And the data tracking, you have to do the data tracking analysis always, every day, and to do the optimize to your game to feed the audience better. Yeah. And then we have some opportunity for indie game, yeah, as well. Now we are looking for 100 indie games, and with 1 million active users to support indie games, yeah. Okay, so for H5 games, yeah, during this conference, I met some H5 games developer. Some of them are very special, yeah, and we hope H5 game can enter Chinese market faster. Yeah, because this is a new opportunity for H5 games. And that's the Oppo policy for H5 games. Yeah. And this is the good story. Happened just a couple months before. Yeah. We got the publishing license from Greengrass. Yeah, it's a Finnish developer. We got a huge download number from App Store and Android Store. Yeah. Currently, the number would be the download number for both platforms would be 3 million. Yeah, in 50 days. Yeah, and we have already got 5 times features by Apple China. Yeah, it's much better. The performance is much better than the global version, and so that's why I'd like to share you the idea. Chinese market is pretty good and very big for all of your games. So if you think your games are good enough, where your confidence to expand your games in Chinese market, just reach out to us, to all the other publishers, and we are looking forward to make more success case in China like this. And thank you. Thank you very much.